Yeah.
What was the difference in the start to the game versus the start to the second half?
Obviously, I think when you think about Eastern Kentucky, you think about the way they play, the style. We haven't played against anybody that has gone at it like that for that long, and as much as we tried to work on assimilating it in practice yesterday, and I thought the very first play of the game, we knew what they were going to do, and threw a bad pass to start the game. Then Tyreek got it, and instead of doing what he's supposed to do, he threw it back to Olivier, and just didn't get off to a good start there. And but I thought the second half we started in a game like this. It's not so much about running offense as much as it is playing offense, and guys looking where they're supposed to be looking, as opposed to, I thought everybody's putting so much pressure on Zakai to dribble the ball across, but yet you think about it, I don't know if it's been a game where a point guard they fouled him 10 times, but we're better when we move it, pass it and cut. We had a couple much better plays in the second half because that's what we had talked about trying to get done. But I think you got to give Eastern Kentucky. I mean, he's a terrific coach. I've known him for a while, and what impresses me, and I think I said it the other night, those guys are getting their teams ready to play in their leagues, and the fact that they believe in their system, they came in and they ran it hard, and turned us over in the first half. I mean, they turned us over, but we helped them some in the first half. But you got to give them credit for it. The second half, I thought we did a better job. We kept telling them whether they're up 20, down 20, they're not going to stop playing, and they didn't.
Mike, then Ryan.
What did you like most defensively kind of through this 3-game homestand, and what are the next steps to keep improving there?
Consistency from certain guys. We keep talking about we can't have any weak links in the chain, and we still got some guys that we've talked to about. That's why we're taking guys in and out of the game tonight. We said, hey, we've talked about it enough. You guys can't keep making the same, and it's a lot of it's post players not doing their job there, but other guys doing things that we don't practice, just lack of discipline. But we're getting closer. We're not where we are and where we can be, but we still need some guys to get a little bit more serious about it.
Shot 41 free throws tonight. It seems like that's been a consistent strength of this team. Just why have y'all been able to get the free throw line at such a high clip?
The fact I think we are trying to attack and be, like I said, play. And we want to be organized with what we're doing on offense. But when you're playing in a game when it's getting, traps are coming from all over, you've got to be able to play and create some of that. And some of it is knowing that teams that play this way would love to see you settle for a quick three. And if we got we kept telling our guys, if you're locked and loaded and shots that we practice, we want you to shoot it and go rebound it. We did I thought tonight another good job of rebounding the ball. I'd like to make more of those, but first half I think we were 6 for 19 inside the 2, but we missed 4 point blank layups. I mean, you make those, you're 10 for 19. It's different. I mean, that's 8 points. I mean, at the rim that we left out there, and that's what we got to have an improvement there. We got to be able those shots you've got to make, and I'm talking about point blank. I'm not talking somebody between you and the basket where it's difficult. But when you've got a point blank shot, you've got to make those.
Rob, then Frank, then Ben.
Coach, you talked to us the other night about Tyreek needed to be more aggressive. Did you feel like you got that from the night? You took 10 shots and got to the line?
We got, you know what, I did. I thought at the start of the game, knowing they were going to come with pressure, I'm not sure. And again, I go back, Tyreek, he's played, how many games we played now? 9, 11 games with him. He went a year and a half without playing. He's never, ever been asked to handle the ball the way we're asking him to do it here now. I mean, with Santi being out, Josiah being out, 2 guys that we rely on to handle the ball. I think he hasn't been able to totally get settled into the role that I think he'll eventually play. But yet, I think it's been really good for him because I think he's proven that he's much more than a guy that can just get going on the offensive end. He is getting better defensively. He's certainly making the effort to get better defensively. But in terms of handling the ball as much as we've asked him to do it, that's all new to him. And as this game wore on, we kept telling him, I think before Santi went down, Santi had taken 30 more shots than Tyreek. And that was because Tyreek was putting Santi in some pretty tough situations at the end of clocks where Tyreek should have shot the ball as opposed to making the extra pass. But he's going to keep getting better. I mean, this is, like I said, this is all new to him too, and I think that he and Julian both will just keep understanding it the more they can be out there.
Coach, what's the vibe like, going into halftime up double digits despite the shots not really falling?
Well, again, that's part of the game, and we talk about that. I mean, I was just on the radio talking about it. Everybody, I can't tell you how many people have said to me, man, if that team shoots the ball, they can beat anybody. That's 200 teams in the country. If you're making shots, yeah, you can beat anybody. It's on the nights when you can't make shots, can you find a way to win the game? You play Kansas, you turn it over 24 times, you find a way to win the game. That's part of basketball. I wish we could make them all. I mean, I'm my whole life, my college coach used to say all the time, he believed in the perfect game. I don't think there's ever been one. But the fact is, coaches, we all think that. We like to think that guys can make shots and this and that, but when the shots aren't going in, you've got to find a way to play. Just like in a game like this is a game where you don't run offense, you got to play it. And when you're open, you shoot it. If not, what we keep talking about, always the first thing we talk about again is our defense. And are we rebounding the ball? We believe if we can be tough, hard-nosed on the defensive end and rebound the ball on both ends, that we'll find a way. And halftime, I thought those guys, our players, did a really good job of talking amongst themselves about, let's just execute what we know we're supposed to do. And at the start of the second half, they did that.
Rick Josiah's second game tonight, do you all feel comfortable with where he is health-wise, just now that he has 2 games under his belt? And do you feel the shooting numbers will start to come back up as he just plays more?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, he's going to shoot the ball well. I mean, every time it leaves his hand, it looks like it's going to go in. And he, he was on the clock. We had him on again the clock tonight. I don't know how many minutes he played, but
17.
What was it? 17. And we knew he wanted to try to get him a 5-6 minute run in there. And those things you're not worried about with him. He'll. Again, I like the fact I think he sees the game. I mean, he'd have been a difference guy early in the game, passing the ball against the pressure. I mean, he's so good. If you get him the ball in the middle of the floor, with his length and his ability to see over, he would make some really good plays there. But we have a plan. We're trying to work him back through, and I'm not sure where it'll be after, how much more we'll progress him to. But and I'm sure after each game and. He's doing everything he needs to do. He's changed his diet. He's done everything he can to make sure he's doing all he can to try to get himself right.
TJ, then Wes.
Coach Julian had a season high 10 rebounds tonight. How important is it for him to have, that aggression on the glass?
Well, I told him he should have had 13 rebounds on one possession. He had his ball on 2 or 3 of them, and he's just going to get so much better. I mean, he's so efficient. He's a better free throw shooter, and he's shooting it right now. I mean, Julian can shoot the ball, but he is learning the pace of the game. I mean, it's hard to guard the way we want to guard, and it's all new to him. I mean, he's obviously has played on the perimeter some, but mostly in high school he probably played more around the basket with post guys. Now he's learning how to switch and do some fix-it things. The 3-point play, I told him, I said, all you got to do is look at the scoreboard. No, we're not going to foul. And I said, but the reason you fouled was you relaxed for just a 0.5 seconds. And that's all people need to get positioned to go. But I think when you look at where he is after where we are right now, I mean, I'm not sure there's been a more effective freshman in college basketball. I don't know if anyone's affected their team as much as he's affected ours.
How important is it to play some teams that play the way that Eastern Kentucky plays? I mean, and I'm sure you'll maybe see some teams with a little more talent who do that, but to get a game like that before you get into conference play, it's got to be nice.
Well, it's going to be important. I mean, whether you play a team that plays like that all the time, or you're on the road, you've got a lead, and teams start pressing, the home crowd gets into it. You got to be able to handle that, and so it's important to get that against that, because we're going to see it again. There's no question. We'll see that again at some point in time, regardless by a team that maybe doesn't do it all the time. But I mean, we could do it at the end of the game. We needed to. We work on it, but it's not that we don't. That's not our philosophy all the time. But But that's what I respect about Eastern Kentucky. That's their philosophy, and they do a great job with it. They came in and played us. They didn't change, and he ran his system against us tonight. We knew they'd play some man, press, different presses, play some zone, do some switching, and so it was a really good game for us from that standpoint.
Finish up with Ryan and then Grant.
Tyreek exited with an injury there in the second half. Do you have any sort of update on that?
I didn't. I didn't even ask anyone about it yet. He was hurt prior to going down. I mean, they couldn't stop the play because the play action was going on. But I thought it was a cramp for a minute, but I haven't asked anyone yet.
Obviously, a lot of time between now and Sunday, but is Santi tracking towards being available Sunday?
Yeah, Grant, I think he is. I saw today when we were on the other end going through scout, he was down on the other end, and he was actually shooting the ball some today. And Chad, and again, does a great job, and Garrett, and he told me today, I walked in, he was the first person I saw, and he told me he felt better today, but he's still got a couple more days to see. Tomorrow we'll be off, and then we'll have Friday and Saturday ready to get ready for that game.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.